Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today it's time for something a little bit different and we're going to show you how to create this tortured clown makeup effect. Okay, so to start off with, we're going to protect our clothing. I'm just going to throw on an old jacket for this. This is going to be quite a messy tutorial, so if you do get any blood or anything down you, although it will wash out of your clothes more than likely, I'd still prefer to protect my nice dress. So I'm going to start off with applying a skin tone foundation all over my skin. Now I'm going to use a pale foundation rather than a white face paint, because it's going to make it look a lot more realistic and you're not going to look as crazy and face painted up. And then I'm going to go in with a really light concealer as well and dot that under my eyes. We're not going for crazy flawless skin here because we're going to really blood it up and bruise it up, but we want a nice canvas to start working on, just so we've got a clean surface that we know all the colours are going to show up nicely on. I'm then going to go straight in with the eyes, and all I'm doing for this is I'm using really warm tones, so we're going with oranges, pinks and really reddy browns, and I'm just going to start off with the lightest shade, buff it through the crease, and then I'm going to throw in a little bit of pink and blend that onto the crease and the lid, and then we're going to go with darker browns through the outer corner. So it's just going to get darker and darker and darker, and you can go as dark as you want with this. You can go all the way to black if you want, but I chose to just leave it at a really dark brown. Whatever I put on the lid, I'm also throwing underneath my lower lashes as well, including the dark shades. Okay, so as you can see, applying all these red based tones to our eyes, it's given us a little bit of a tired, not so well kind of effect, but it's also going to give you that little bit of a smoky eye as well, so it's going to look really nice as well once the makeup's completed. As nice as a tortured clown can look, I guess. Okay, then I'm just using the tape and I'm going to do my eyeliner really quickly. I've took this eyeliner out quite far because I do want a little bit of focus to actually go to my eyes. We are going to put in some contact lenses later on, so applying liner is just going to define the eyes a little bit more. Once the eyeliner is complete, I'm taking a black eyeshadow and I'm running that on a flat, really small brush, going backwards and forwards along my lower lashes. This is going to mimic the top line of eyeliner. It's going to deepen the lower lashes as well, because like I said, whatever we do on the top, we're going to do it underneath as well. So I'm just brushing that backwards and forwards through my lashes, and then I'm going in with a fluffy brush again, going back over that just to blend it into all those red toned colours so it's not as harsh and a definite line. I'm then going in with a Dior eyeliner pencil. This is actually a purple colour, so this is going to be really nice. It's going to make the whites of our eyes look whiter, but because it's purple, it's going to also give us a little bit more of a tired look. So especially if you've got green eyes, well, that's going to bring the green out in your eyes as well, but it is mainly going to give us that little bit of it's not quite black, it's not white, it's just going to give us a bit of a sleepy eyed look from it going on our waterline. But it's also going to go in with the red based as well. And I'm now going to contour my skin. Yeah, I might be thinking, why the hell are you going to contour when you've been a strange tortured clown? But because we want to give our cheeks that hollowed out look, like we're a little bit ill, we've not ate for quite a while, and also we want to bring it up to a little flick at the cheek to give us that clowny round cheek shape. And then once I've drawn it on, I'm just going to push it in with a beauty blender. This does take a while to blend all this in, But keep going, don't give up, because it is definitely worth the effect once you've blended it all in. Okay, so while I'm blending this in, I'm just going to go over the special effects part. I'm going to use Sculpt Gel for my cuts, and all I'm going to do is mix part A and part B. Now Sculpt Gel usually comes part A, part B and part C, but I'm just using A and B. And you're mixing equal parts on a plate with a spatula, just mix them together really well, and then I'm going to use a spatula that's been cut in half. I'm going to apply it directly above my brow and below my lower lashes. Now I did move the makeup on this, I used some makeup remover, so I had a guide already, so that's a really good tip. Also, it won't stick as well on top of makeup, so you want to remove that first. And I'm just drawing the line and then smoothing it down the edges, bringing it to a point, and we're going to keep building this. Now Sculpt Gel does go off quite quickly, so as you'll see as this goes on, I'm finding it harder and harder to move the Sculpt Gel because it's starting to set. So you do need to be quite quick with this, but you've probably got around a couple of minutes mess about time with this, so don't rush it too much because you do want it to be exactly where you want it to be. But as you can see here, it's starting to go off and I'm struggling with it a little bit. I'm then going to put some Prosthetic, which is just an adhesive, over my other brow, because we're going to cover that in Sculpt Gel as well, so it looks like we've had our brow cut off, which is beautiful. Who loves a structured brow? Oh yes. So I'm just pressing that down, and then I've covered my whole brow with the Sculpt Gel as well. Just nice and simply, just from the front to the back. If you want to do a bit of an arch and things, absolutely you can do. And then I'm going to go on to the lips. So I'm applying this straight over my top lip, and then I'm going to start to work the shape. So I apply a really generous amount, and then I'm going to go in smooth motions from the outer corner into the cupid's bow, creating that arch effect that our lip has. So imagine really overdrawing your lips. That's what we're doing but with Sculpt Gel. So I'm applying it, and then I do one sweep motion straight to the cupid's bow, and then on the outer edge we're going to lift it slightly. I'm not going to go for a crazy lift for this because I am trying to keep it quite natural. Can you say natural this look? I don't know, but I want it to be like those features, but they've been cut off. So we're not going for a joke mouth as such, but we are going to lift it to give a clown smile, creepy effect. This step is really time consuming, so please do bear with it and keep going. When you think it's not working, keep going because it will. So you just want to keep building it, and then also you want to build up for as far out as a lip you want as well. So if you want a really protruding lip, like it's really swollen, then just keep adding more and more. I did try to keep the line above the lip quite sharp, so it is like an actual lip line, because obviously our lip line does lift off slightly. And then to create the gross fleshy look, I'm just literally putting the spatula in and pulling it out. I did this over my brows and in my cut as well, so that's going to give the really jaggedy, it's been cut off grossness. Okay, so we do look kind of like we've got a white moustache at the minute, which, you know, you could go out in Halloween with that alone, but we're going to bloody this up. So for cheeks, I'm going to start to contour it. I'm first applying a pink eyeshadow mixed with a little bit of black to the cheeks for a little bit of a rosy flush, as we all like. And then I'm using a flat brush, and I'm going to blend in some grey and black eyeshadow right into the hollows of my cheek. Now I'm not going to make this crazily noticeable, so I do blend it out afterwards, but using black or grey tones instead of your normal brown tones is definitely going to give you more of a death, kind of not very well effect. And then I'm also going to take this slightly down the nose. I'm not doing any major contouring with this. You can if you want, absolutely, that would work, but I just want it to be like you've been in a cave for a bit, not being very well, you haven't been very well trapped. You wouldn't be perfectly contoured, but you definitely would be a little bit skinny and a little bit worse for wear. So for the remaining eyebrow, I'm actually going to do this blue because I did this last year and I thought it was really fun. So we're just going to fill in the brow with a cream blue product. It's kind of like a face paint, but it's not a face paint, it's like a creamy special effects paint. And then I'm going to go over that with a blue eyeshadow as well, so it's going to last. Now time for the colouring. So I'm using a dark red, a blue and a light red, and I'm mixing it onto a little concealer brush, and I'm just going to dot my brush into each of those colours and then start to run it around my eyes. This is going to give us a really good bruised effect. So I'm working right on the inner corner of the eye and then on the cheekbone, because that, if you'd had a black eye, that is where it would darken. So it'd go obviously under your eye a little bit and then also out on the bone on the outer edge. And I'm going to keep building this up. And then I also put some on my forehead, along my nose, some around the edges of my nose as well, on my chin, and then I also work it right around the cups. this is where you just want to think where you would bruise. So where you've got particularly protruding bones would be where you bruise. So like your chin area, your cheekbone, and also all the way around your eyes at bruise as well, but not necessarily underneath. It's kind of the inner edge and the outer edge. So to colour the cuts, applies for all of them. We're going to apply the black cream in the deepest areas. So wherever dips, wherever's been pulled out, that is where you want to go in black. So by applying the black colour first, this is going to add depth to the look, and it's also going to show us how deep the cut is. So I'm just popping it on, and then we're going to pull it out a little bit as well. Don't worry if you are a little bit messy with this step, because we're going to bruise all around the cuts anyway. So we're just literally rubbing it into those little areas, and I do the same on the lips and the brows as well. Wherever it dips in, like I said, you just want to fill in black. Oh, I've also just realised as well, we've now got a contact lens in, which can I just say was causing me serious issues. Like, contact lenses are not eye friendly, and I wear normal contact lenses. See look, there's a big problem. They are not comfortable at all, but they look really cool. So I'm going in with the dark red now. Now this is my favourite colour to do cuts with because it's such a fleshy, bloody, gross colour. So we're going to go over that black, and we're also going to lift it a little bit onto the edges of our cuts now. So we're going straight over the black area, as you can see, and then I'm going to kind of lift it up the sides. This is going to give us depth to the blood. So this is now showing that, okay, well, it's a little bit fleshy, a bit bloody, but because the black's under there, it's going to really show off the depth, so it doesn't look just like a red line. And I'm now going in with my mini beauty blender, which I do not recommend using your mini beauty blender for this because it's absolutely stained mine like crazy. I could cry. I just keep washing it a million times, but the colour is not coming out, and I'm just pressing it straight over that. So we're not adding any extra colour, we're just going to literally bounce over it, and it's going to kind of go wherever it wants to. So as you can see, I took a little bit onto the forehead and above the brow, and then either side on the lower edge. So again, just kind of stick to wherever your bones are particularly protruding. And I'm now going to finish off with the light red colour, and that's going to kind of go just along the top, so that's going to show off extra blood and goriness. And then I'm going to go in and do the others. So again, going with the black, then with the red, and then with the light red, and it's going to kind of get further and further on top of the product, so it's going to show more depth. And just keep going, keep blending. I like to lift a little bit as well. I'm going to take a little bit onto my eyelids again. Your brow bone is a protruding bone, and above where the brow is, that comes out a little bit as well. So just keep going, keep blending, and yeah, you're going to look beautiful after this step. So for our last step for the bloody areas, I'm going to apply some yellow cream now, and this is going to go on all of the clear areas. This is going to give a really gross, tissuey, fleshy, severed look. Really not nice. And then I'm going to go in with a product called Kryolan, and this is going to go onto my nose. This is going to create the clown nose, and I'm just going to apply this in a circle. And what this will do is actually tighten the skin, so you want to apply quite a few layers of this, and it really tightens the skin and makes it look scarred. So as you'll see on the finished effects is that my nose looks really crunchy and gross, and that's what does it. So I will be applying a few layers of this, and I'm now just going to throw on some eyelashes. I did also fill in my bottom lip in red and then put a little bit of black right on the inner part of my lip. Now if you are going out with this look, by all means go for a pink lip, go for a purple lip, whatever colour lip you want. You can even go for a nude lip with this. I just went for red because it's typical clown, I guess. So this is now my second layer. As you can see then, it was getting a little bit, you can see it's a little bit crustier looking. Really beautiful. Exactly what we want for our nose contour. And now I'm just going to fill in my wounds with blood. Now do be warned, blood will cover everything you just did. So if you feel like it's not very good, then throw loads of blood on there because it's going to cover everything. It's really great for that. But if you think, do you know what, I've done really well with this colouring, I don't want to cover it loads, just apply a little bit to the deepest areas, and like on your brown lip, I just kind of rubbed it along and it'll just sit in any dips that there is. It's not going to be like dripping from my face because you're a cleaned up clown, you know, you've got bruising but you've been cleaned up. And then for the cut, it does look a little bit more flooded in there because the cuts are a little bit deeper, so that looks really effective. And then I just put on with my finger, just blend it out and just put it on a little bit more wherever you need it and just spread it out a little bit. Now this is layer 3 of the collodion. Now I would recommend at least doing 5 layers of this, and then I've put a little bit of blood under my nose and just under the other nostril as well, but not dripped down. I only dripped down one just because it looks a little bit more effective. And then I'm going to go in with a red colour. I did 1 dot and then I'm rubbing it in with my nose. And then I go in with the darker red and do the exact same thing. And then a little bit of black. And as you can see, it looks really crunchy and just not very smooth and ladylike. This is not a ladylike look. This is pretty gross. And then we're going in with the darker red and then the black. So again, that's going to add us lots of depth to this look. And our red nose completes our look. So I hope you have an amazing Halloween. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up, and also don't forget to subscribe for more Halloween looks. And until next time guys, I'll see you soon.